This question says that somebody has taken the promise of God to the children of Israel and claimed it for themselves. But those of you biblical and Quranic scholars, today we are prepared to call out the scholars of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. If you can disprove what we say today, then I'll pay with my life for lying.
On that same day, he also told the world about a letter which he had written to the Anti-Defamation League's president, Abraham Foxman, but had also sent this letter and the books to President Obama and his staff, members of Congress, including the Black Caucus, leaders of the major Jewish organizations, black university heads, and many other black leaders. Here is just an excerpt, and I quote, "We can now present to our people and the world a true, undeniable record of the relationship between blacks and Jews from their own mouths and pens. These scholars, rabbis, and historians have given to us an undeniable record of Jewish anti-black behavior." Part 2 of his announcement was delivered July 11, 2010 at Mas Mariam.
We pit this against scholars all over the world, and our scholars are prepared. Our historians are prepared to go up against the scholars of the world to prove, and theologians, that these that call us anti-Semitic are not Semitic at all. They have no connection whatsoever to the Holy Land.
Author, professor, scholar, and radio host Michael Eric Dyson interviewed Minister Farrakhan August 10th, 2010.
We have always read that it was Africans that sold our people into bondage, and that is true as it is recorded in the history of Joseph in the Bible and his brethren selling him into bondage. We have often read about Muslims and the slave trade, and that Muslims were involved, Arab Muslims were involved in the slave trade yesterday and even today. But what has remained a secret and not spoken of is the Jewish involvement in the undoing of black people and the slave trade and the owners of ships and the selling and dehumanizing of black people.
Now, some of the Jewish leaders did brave to respond, but failed to challenge the contents of the books. Like the biblical confrontations with Jesus, they only attempted to denigrate the messenger as an anti-Semite. The responses to these weak provocations by the Nation of Islam Research Department were brilliantly overwhelming. When Martin Klein of the Zionist Organization of America attacked Minister Farrakhan, Brother Cedric and Brother Ashad Muhammad slammed him. Rabbi Abraham Cooper of the Simon Wiesenthal Center attacked, but within minutes Brother Jackie Muhammad, Brother Tingba, and Brother Dimitri hit back 1, 2, 3. When Stanley Crouch and Abraham Foxman went on the radio, the final call pounded them in the next issue. When the Zionists objected to Minister Farrakhan, Brother Dr. Ridgely Muhammad objected to them even harder. When Earl Ofari Hutchinson decided to defend his Jewish bosses, Brother Tingba and Brother Dimitri made him pay. WTWG Radio in the city of Jackson, Mississippi.
Lehman Brothers started in Alabama as an owner of cotton plantations. Then they moved to New York and went into banking. I am telling you, dear beloved people of Mississippi, all the wealth of America, most of it was produced by you. And much of it even today is being produced by you under starvation wages on these plantations throughout Mississippi and the South.
Cliff Kelly, the legendary radio talk show host of Chicago, hosted the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on March 10th, 2011.
So we wanted America and the world to know, well, if we could study their tragic history, why shouldn't the American people know, and why shouldn't black people know how we got into this condition and position? So we're not only releasing the book, but we want it on every college campus, black and white. We want it studied in the classrooms. In fact, just as they made the autobiography of Malcolm X required reading, and they make the study of the Holocaust required, make the study of what happened to nearly 40 million black people in America, millions in the Caribbean, more and more millions in Brazil and South America. We need to know the horror of the transatlantic slave trade so that we won't have to say never again. We'll make damn sure that it will never happen again.